Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripasindave Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dhanavad devotees. I wanted to try to take a very short time here this morning to answer one question, and also some devotees wrote in for some clarification on one Harikatha that was given on the Bhakti Zoom regarding Sri Baladev Ji and the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So I think I'll start with that because that may be the longer of the two answers, and I want to get that in, and then I can always come back to the second question, which was about the appearance of Sri Guru in dreams. So the first thing was that yesterday, of course, not yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, now there was the Bhakti Zoom, and we had a discussion on Sri Nityananda Trayodasi of the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And so I mentioned some things regarding the nuance of understanding the nature of Akhanda Guru Tattva. That Sri Baladev, we generally know, is Akhanda Guru Tattva. But I was explaining that in the persona of Baladev, the principle of Akhanda Guru Tattva is called Seva Vastu Seva Vritti. It means that Baladev is the persona of both the mood, attitude, and the substance of serving Krishna. So what that literally means is that in all the different moods, 5 primary moods, 7 secondary moods, that Baladev is the persona of the function of those moods. In other words, the mentality of serving Bhagavan in a particular way, the repository of that mood of service is Baladev Tattva. Secondly, because he is the presiding deity of Sandhini Shakti, he is also the very substance of serving Bhagavan, because we know that Baladev appears as the Dham, as the body of the Brijabasis, except for the Kaya Vyuha Radhika, and everything in the Lord's circle of enjoyment is provided by this Sandhini Shakti. I also mentioned that Sandhini Shakti is permeated and imbued with Ahladini Shakti, because if it were not, then it would not be able to give pleasure to the Lord, because the Lord's means of tasting happiness in anything is the presence of the Shakti called Ahladini Shakti. So you should know that Sambit, Ladini, Sandhini Shakti, they're one Shakti functioning in 3 different ways, right? It's called Swarup Shakti in general, but it's one Shakti functioning in 3 different ways. So there's not an incongruity to speak that Srimati Radhika, who is the presiding deity of the Ladini Shakti, imbues or empowers the Ladini Shakti in Sandhini Shakti. So that would not be inconsistent as far as Siddhanta is concerned. So I mentioned that the very name Balaram could give indication to that fact, because Bal means power or Shakti. And the Shakti of Bhagavan, the Adi Shakti of Bhagavan, the original potency of Bhagavan, the root of that Shakti, Mool Shakti, is Srimati Radhika herself. So Bhal Ramatayati Rama, Ramayatayati Rama means the power to give Krishna pleasure originates in Srimati Radhika, right? And Sri Baladev is the complete repository of the attitude in various ways and the substance of manifesting that happiness for Krishna. You understand? And I gave the example that if you have 2 people and they want to express affection to each other, affection is the mood and affection is the thing that's tasted. But a substance may be used to express that sentiment. For instance, if you, I'm giving a mundane example, if any gentleman will give a lady a ring, it's not just the ring, hopefully not, right? But it's the sentiment of the expression of the love that's imbued in the ring, right, that you're giving the person. So that person is not tasting just gold, silver, whatever, diamond, whatever it might be, but they're tasting the sentiment that's imbued in that ring. So in the material world, everything obviously is not absolute, but in the spiritual world, things are absolute. Therefore, things that are done in terms of offerings of any substantive thing in the spiritual world is fully imbued with that Ladini Shakti. So any exchange in the Leela of the cowherd boys, that, oh, Krishna, you should taste what my mother made. And Krishna will then feed what Mother Yashoda and Rohini Ma have made to that sucker. So these exchanges, all of the substances are imbued with Ladini Shakti, and therefore they become tasteful to Krishna. I also gave the example that this is the deeper meaning of the very verse in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati, that Krishna is tasting the bhakti inherent, and bhakti here means Ladini Shakti. So it's not the substance offered, it is the bhav inherent in that substance. So then I also explained that Sri Nityananda is the direct manifestation of Sri Baladev, Virjindra Nandana se, Sachisutta Hoilo se, Balaram Hoilo netai. That we know that Sri Baladev Tattva in Gaur Leela manifests as Nityananda. So I gave an explanation of the Pancha Tattva, and I've given this explanation many, many times before, that in the verse Pancha Tattvakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. So what is the Bhakta Rup? The Bhakta Rup means the very form of Sri Radha Krishna that has come in the united form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the Bhakta Rup. And that entails everything that deals with Radha Krishna, their Leela, their unfoldment, the genesis of why Krishna desires to taste the mood of Radhika and becomes all of that mystery, all of that deep understanding is imbued in the Rup called the Bhakta Rup. The Swarup of something means the revelation of those realities that you cannot ascertain simply by seeing the form of something. Again, I gave the example that if someone knocks on your door and you open the door and you see the physical form of someone and you don't know them, it is not until they begin to speak and reveal their identity, purpose, everything else, that you come to make a connection or relationship or whatever with that person. So that revelation of who they are by their speaking everything, that is called revelation of the Swarup of the person. You see the form, but the Swarup is the inner reality of the person. That inner reality is revealed by Nityananda Prabhu. So this is why Nityananda Prabhu was also Akhanda Guru Tattva. Because within the 5 inextricable truths that descend as the Pancha Tattva, he is the revelatory power that reveals the mystery of what is the Bhakta Rup. Right? Because without Guru, without the principle of removal of ignorance, etc., no one can understand themselves, what to speak of Bhagavan, what to speak of the highest manifestation of Bhagavan. Because Gaur Leela is the Bhakti Naipunya. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj used to use this term, Bhakti Naipunya. The pinnacle of bhakti is in Gaur Leela. In Krishna Leela, Krishna tastes the height of Leela Ras. Right? In the Ras Leela, then the pinnacle of Rasa is tasted. Right? But still, even after all of that, at the end of Braja Leela, Purva Vraja Vilaste Etina Abhilas, Krishna has 3 desires that remain unfulfilled. Shri Radha Pranaya Mahima Kidduso Vanyeva. What is the glory of the love of Radhika? How she experiences him? And what is Sokyam Chasha? What is her happiness? That comes as a reality, as a anubhav, or as an experience in tasting his 4 special kinds of characteristics, Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, etc. Right? So Krishna wants to know what that is. And from the position of being the object of love, which is called Vishaya Jatiya, he cannot do that. Therefore, he desires to come in the position of Asraya. Bhakti Bhav Angikari is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhakta Bhav means the position of a Bhakta, and of course the pinnacle of being in the mood of a bhakta or asraya is Srimati Radhika. So he wants to come and taste that mood. So love, which is the basis of everything, right? Radha, Krishna, everything is based on their prem. The highest manifestation of that is in Gaur Leela. Highest manifestation of Leela is in Krishna Leela. Highest manifestation of Dharma is in Ram Leela. You understand? So in Mahaprabhu's Leela, the highest category of prem is manifest. So he's called Prem Purushottam Leela. Right? So Nityananda Prabhu is the revelatory power in the Panchatattva that reveals that. And Sri Advaita Acharya is the avatar. It is by Advaita Acharya that this whole understanding descends to the plane of the jiva, to the material world. And when it descends to the material world, it requires the empowerment of bhakti to understand it. So Bhakti Devi herself, Srimati Radhika herself, manifests in that 5 truths of the Panchatattva as Shri Gadadhar. It is the Shakti, the power of Bhakti. And that power of Bhakti is disseminated to the jivas by a devotee. In Madhurya Kandambini, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is made clear that Bhagavan himself does not give Bhakti. Because if he did, he would be attributed with the fault called asamya dosh, or partiality. Therefore, he empowers Paramasvatantra Bhagavad Bhakta. He empowers and gives independence to the Bhagavad Bhaktas, pure devotees, that they can become the repositories of that love, affection, etc., of the absolute truth, and they can disseminate it to others. So Nityananda Prabhu is in Gaur Leela, the encapsulation of that as a Khanda Guru Tattva. And or sometimes it's called Shamashti Guru, means the full presentation of Guru who can reveal these things. Then there are Vyasti Guru, the individual manifestations of Nityananda. So, those individual manifestations of Guru, called Vyasti Guru, are represented in the Panchatattva as Srivas. So, somebody's asking a question here, and maybe it's because it's directly on the topic. Oh, Sri Ramananda Prabhu. Oh, Dandavat Prabhu. So does that make pure devotees partial? Well, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Madhurya Kandamini addresses this point as well. Because we could say, Sava Bhutam Yaprasyat Bhagavam Bhavam Atmanaha, that the pure devotee, when they're absorbed, they see everything on the level of their bhav. So would they also be partial in that mood? And the answer, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is yes. Therefore, the Uttam Bhagavat, Mahabhagavat Vaishnava, descends to the platform of Madhyam Bhagavat. So it would be a whole other discussion for me to break down what that difference is, because sometimes there's a misconception of what is Madhyamadikar. So actually the pure Vaishnava, even Nitya Parikars, they will descend to the level of Madhyam Bhagavat, means they descend to a level in which they can make distinctions. What distinctions? Prema, their love for Bhagavan is intact. Maitri, they understand what is friendship or what is Vaishnavas and association with Vaishnavas. Prema Maitri Kripa, they show mercy to the innocent persons, Balishu. And Upeksha means neglect, which means they recognize there are those who are envious, non-faithful, non-devotees, etc. So it's on that platform that they preach to everyone. Right? Because those who are on the inner absorption, in their antarabhav, right? They really like Vamsi Das Babaji, others who are very deep bhajanandis. Their main emphasis was not preaching. Their main emphasis was tasting bhajan and tasting their inner experience. So therefore, our maximum benefit doesn't come really in their association. Only their ashibad, their blessing is so good for us. But we derive the greatest benefit in unfolding in bhakti by those who are on that middle platform, who come to that middle platform, who can reach out and see our condition and help us. So here, Paramasvatantra Bhagavad Bhakta, right, Jatta Kripa Manguludayana, they contain the Kripa to distribute it to the living entities. So Srivas represents that in the Panchatattva. You understand? So this is how to understand that verse. Panchatatvakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Surupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. You understand? So, Nityananda Prabhu, I mentioned, demonstrates this by the unique Leela with Jagai and Madai. So there's so many nuances to that Leela. Again, it would expand this way beyond the scope of what I intended. But you should know that Jai and Vijay in the Leela of Mahaprabhu become Jagai and Madai. So in one sense, they're under the category of Premna Eva Goparamanam. Premna Eva Goparamanam Kamam Ityagamat Pratam Udavadayo Apietan Vajanti Bhagavat Priya. That when Mahaprabhu descends, he calls all the devotees of previous incarnations. It is to these devotees that he distributes the intensity of the mood of Braj. They do not give up their Swarup. Murari Gupta is Hanuman, and he does not give up the Swarup of being Hanuman. But he takes the intensity of Rag Mag, which means Brajabhav, in the special Leela of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Oh, no, Nanda Prabhu, no, it's your creep on me to make me explain further. I'm looking at one comment that Prabhu is making. So, they don't give up their Swarup, but they taste the intensity of Rag Marg. This is the meaning of the verse, Prem Rasniyas Karite Ashwaran, Rag Marg Bhakti Lok Karite Pracharan. He spoke, Mahaprabhu himself, Rag Marg to the Bhakta Lok, means the pure devotees of other incarnations, headed by Uddhava, who came as Paramananda Puri. Right? But to all these devotees, he allowed them to taste the intensity of Brajabhav. The highest Leela where this kind of rasa is tasted in Krishna Leela is Ras Leela. So that Ras Leela in Gaur Leela becomes the Kirtan Ras Leela in the courtyard of Srivas. So they taste the intensity of the Ras Leela in the Kirtan Ras Leela of Mahaprabhu. So don't conflate the two things like, oh, so the Ras Leela, because then it will create confusion. Just understand that the Vaishishta, speciality of Gaur Leela, is the intensity. Rupa Goswami Pad comments in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The intensity of that experience is tasted in the special mood of Dasyaras they have towards Mahaprabhu. Because it will be Gauranga Nagarivad if you start to think, oh, devotees have a conjugal mood towards Mahaprabhu. It is a special kind of Dasyaras in which the intensity of Braj mood is tasted. So this is Rag Marg Aprachar of Mahaprabhu. To the ordinary jivas, Mahaprabhu, in the empowerment to Nityananda Prabhu to go and preach to everyone. So Nityananda Prabhu was that Akhanda Guru Tattva, then goes and demonstrates, as I was mentioning in the connection with Jai and Vijay as Jagai Madai, goes there and demonstrates the Leela of the extreme mercy of Guru Tattva. Because he delivers the most fallen person. And he sheds his own blood in order to do that. Also, there was a little bit of confusion. I don't know, somebody mentioned this. I don't know how realistic or if it was actual or not. But we had a discussion on it in our phone conference. Anyway, I brought up a question that what other incarnation, I was really intending to mean incarnations of Bhagavan, have shed blood in order to deliver the jivas. So our host, Manini Radha Didi, so sweet devotee, always doing so much service. She just mentioned Jesus Christ because that's a natural thought that, yes, Jesus Christ, the whole basis of Christianity is that he shed his own blood to save people. So this is also a fact, but I was meaning incarnations of Bhagavan, right? And then I went on to explain actually how all of our acharyas shed blood in one way, form, or fashion, meaning they shed blood by their efforts, just like Al Srila Prabhupada coming on the Jaladut, having 3 heart attacks, etc., etc. Al Srila Gurudev, even in the Leela of his ill health, traveled around the world 30 times, especially at the stage in which they're manifesting their inner realizations in the land of Braj. They give that up and come for the sake of, so this is also a kind of spilling of blood. This energy that they use to come and save so many jivas, right? So I mentioned that this was a special feature of Nityananda Prabhu. That Nityananda Prabhu performed this Leela to show what is the standard of, and the potency of Guru, that they can come and to deliver the jivas, they even shed blood. Now, a unique feature when you go into the depth of that Leela is that, of course, here he's actually shedding his blood right in the Leela, but he's delivering to devotees who are already great devotees, who was Jai Vijay, right? But he's giving them the intensity of the taste of this Braj mood, because they are Vaikuntha Sevaks. They work on the western door of Sri Narayan in Vaikuntha. So, but they're getting the intense taste because they're the favorites of Narayan's Dwarapalaks, his door guards. So they're getting the mercy of getting this taste by coming as Jagai and Madai, and also serving in the Leela of glorifying the extreme mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Right? So these were some of the things that were brought up in that Katha that I wanted to make clear. Also in the chat I had to write, because I realized when I heard back, one of the things I said, I mentioned that Nityananda Prabhu was the Swarup Shakti in the Panchatattva, but what I was meaning to say was that he is the Swarup, meaning the revealer of the Swarup of the Bhakta Rupa, as I discussed earlier. Swarup Shakti is present throughout because the Panchatattva is completely spiritual, so the Swarup Shakti is there. So I didn't mean Swarup Shakti in that sense, like Ladini, Samvit, and Sandini mixed together. I meant that he is the power of revealing the Swarup of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Okay? So I think I'll take time, I think I have a couple of minutes, to address a question that I received, and that was about dreams of Sri Guru. So, of course, Sri Guru, if any disciple has sincere mood of service and sincere mood of surrender to Sri Guru, then there are so many pastimes of Guru, even when they enter Samadhi, being available and present to that disciple. Of course, we know the famous story of Sri Dhyana Chandra Goswami and Gopal Guru Goswami. So even in the story of Ramanujacharya and Jamunacharya, right? So there's just so many different pastimes. I'm not thinking all right now, but so many where the reality that Guru in Samadhi doesn't mean they're dead and gone. It means Samadhi. That the D means their focus, their absorption is now Sama. It is equal on one plane. Because when Guru is performing the Acharya Leela, then Guru manifests three states of consciousness: Bahiradasha, Ad Bahiradasha, and Antradasha. So Antradasha means they become internally absorbed. Like in Seva Sadhika Rupena Siddha Rupena Chatrahi. Ad Bahirdas means that position of half internal, half external consciousness. And Bahirdasa means when Guru is in the Acharya Leela performing functions like guiding a disciple, so forth, so on the external platform. So when Guru enters Samadhi, it means they enter into Antradasha. That's why we say Nitya Leela Praveshtam, etc. Guru Dev has entered Nitya Leela, and they're absorbed on that plane. So now the disciples relating to Guru has to come through the modality of their bhajan, because the external vapu of Guru Dev is no longer present, right? But in their samadhi, they are present and available to the disciple directly through the experience of their bhajan practice. So sometimes in the course of that bhajan practice, if any disciple is very fortunate, Shri Guru may come within their dream state and give any instruction, just give Ashibad, any blessing, or just appear for encouragement or something like that. So we certainly should feel very blessed by such things. At the same time, we have to understand, depending on our adhikar, our consciousness, and so many things, there may be conflated or mixed influences happening. In other words, Shri Gurudev will appear in my dream, and at the same time, you know, whatever is going on in my consciousness may also appear there. You understand? So anytime we receive an instruction in a dream, then we should really vet that maybe with any very senior realized devotee if possible, right? And so forth. We don't generally want to share inner experiences with everybody. Srila Gurudev has often spoken that the things that arise as realizations in your inner bhajan, they're like camphor, and that they should be kept in the recesses of your heart. They should not be spoken out easily and so forth and so on. But if you have some dream and you feel maybe a deep instruction was given or something, try to vet that with any very high class of devotee and take inspiration from it. One way or another. If you can't vet it, then take inspiration, but just, obviously exercise some maturity that, yes, Gurudev told me, after not telling me, 100 times don't marry, but he appeared in my dream and I've been desiring to get married, but now he appeared in my dream, he told me, yes, I saw him nod his head, so that must affirm that I can get married. So just be careful of things like that. I think everybody understands what I'm saying. But we should also be very inspired that a Sri Guru should appear in the dream. It is just indication of their extreme mercy. Gurudev has often said that I will never leave you. So sometimes for encouragement, Gurudev will appear in the swapna, in the dream state of any devotee, and to give encouragement. So on any level, we should take it as inspiration and be encouraged, right? But you want to vet any decisions you try to make on that, especially if being honest to yourself, maybe some still material impressions are there and so forth and so on. I don't want to conflate my material desires with the inspiration that may come from Gurudev appearing in a dream. Oh, part of the question was whether or not we should consider it real. And again, I think I at least indirectly affirmed that yes, if Sri Guru appears in your dream, then that's real. Srila Gurudev is actually appearing there. You cannot manifest that no more than you can manifest if you have a dream about Krishna or something. You cannot manifest that from your imagination. What you can begin to do is conflate your material desires with the mercy that might have come from the appearance of Guru or Krishna in your dream, and that could be problematic. So we should always take inspiration from these things, but we should recognize adhikar, and we should be honest, and so forth and so on. And then we'll derive the proper inspiration and not allow it to become something that may be damaging to our spiritual life by acting out material impulses based on thinking we've received some kind of confirmation for them from Sri Guru or Krishna. So I'll end here, and hopefully I was clear. I have some fault. I'm not so able to explain everything nicely sometimes, so I beg forgiveness for that. And hopefully I was a little more clear this time if I was not in the Harikatha. And also, hopefully this devotee is satisfied with the question about dreams. And thank you so much, devotees. Ramananda Prabhu. I normally don't look down in the chatting thing, but thank you, because that was a very good question. It also helped, actually, to bring up things. Dhanuvad pranam. Vancha kalpaturubhyascha kripashindavevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh, one major thing. Somebody wrote, and I'm so sorry that I did not remember this, but I didn't completely forget. So even though I was about to conclude, I didn't forget. She asked me about Nityananda Prabhu not having Abhiman, because it's from the Bhajan Aproda Paramananda Nityananda Roy, Abhiman Sunya Nitya Nagare Vedai. So, yes, Nityananda Prabhu has no Abhiman because he is completely the persona of Savior Bhagavan. He's Bhagavan in the Vaishishta, means speciality of being absorbed as the Savior. It's not Savior, Savior Bhagavan, service mood. He's completely absorbed in that. So he has no Abhiman. Abhiman is something that's acquired as a self-conception and is generally related to the potential of the experience of your own enjoyment. So neither Baladev Tattva nor the manifestation of Sri Baladev Tattva's Nityananda Prabhu have this Abhiman. And this is very important in relation to Guru, because the hallmark feature of Guru is that they have no Guru Abhiman. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung, Taisisha Tava Takia Savada a Guru Abhimana Tyaji. That may I always consider myself your disciple, and may Guru Abhiman go far away from me. Right? So the Abhiman of being anything other than the servant of Krishna, like in the case of the Jiva, anything except realizing Dasa Bhuti Hari Eva, that I am the Dasa of Krishna, that Abhiman is based in false ego, Hamkar. So if one has the idea I am Guru, and it is Guru Abhiman, right, that is just a further extension of false ego. So Abhiman Sunya means that those who are the true Prakash of Nityananda Prabhu, in the function of doing the seva of Guru, they have no Guru Abhiman. They have no Abhiman of any sort, but they have no Guru Abhiman especially. And that will play itself out practically and functionally in the fact that whenever there's the presence of any higher class of Vaishnava, any sane Patibhakta, those who may be performing the service of Guru, because Rupa Goswami Pada said, those who have Uttamarikar in eligibility to practice sadhana, Sastra Yukti Sunipanya Dvirashwaranyandra Uttamarikar se Tariye Sangsar. If they have eligibility in the practice of sadhana, such that they are Sastra Yukti Sunipunya, means that they are deeply steeped in Sastra and the logic or understanding of Sastra, and Dvirashwaranyandra, their faith is firmly fixed in that regard, then Taraye Sangsar, they can help others on the path of bhakti leading away from Sangsara. You understand? But if they have Guru Abhiman, it is like putting poison in milk, everything is spoiled. You understand? If they don't have this Guru Abhiman, then they can be fit, transparent mediums to help those on the path of sudden bhakti, because wherever they find high-class Vaishnava association, they will go along with all their disciples to that place. Right? From time to time, any sane Patibhakta in the army of Mahaprabhu manifest, and it becomes recognizable. Sometimes we don't have that going on. But, in due course of time, many times one sane Patibhakta will arise, and it gives focus that in the Vaishnava Mando, here's a place where all can go, right? And give shelter to themselves and their disciples to make more advancement, right? All right, my Dandavat Pranam, I'm sorry. I didn't want to forget, and I did remember, so please. Jai, Radhe Radhe.